to get started, Paddy, what made you want to go to Iceland in the first place?
It's a place I've always wanted to go. I think ever since I was a teenager doing geography and looking at pictures in books of volcanoes and glaciers and wild, empty country. It was also an ambition of mine to go to Iceland. Unfortunately, it never quite made it to the top of the list until one day when talking to Cicerone about a project called the Arctic Circle Trail in Greenland. I was asked quite bluntly, do you want Iceland as well while you're at it? And that put me on the spot. Yes, I do. Iceland being where it is and having the sort of expansive range of scenic types that they have there, you can get everything from Arctic deserts where you'd need to carry water, you get glaciers where you need full glacier kit, you get wild empty spaces where you have to camp, and you get huts which do not provide food. So wherever you go, you really need everything with you, and you need the food for however long you intend staying out. Believe it or not, my little pack here is full of lightweight kit, but I do have everything necessary to travel in Iceland, and believe it or not, enough food on top here to last a week. Now, footwear is important to me. I'm starting off here with lightweight, what look like trainers, but they are actually proper shoes for going up the mountains, made by Innovate. They're very tough and they are suitable for me in almost all conditions, but they do not take well to being dunked in rivers. They're not too good when it gets freezing cold. So unusually for me, I actually pack a lot more footwear when I go to somewhere like Iceland. A pair of very lightweight boots. They're good for soggy glaciers and for getting in smallish rivers. One peculiar thing about Iceland are the rivers. When you have to cross a river, if it's a glacial river, it can be absolutely filthy. To keep all the grit and gravel from getting in a nice pair of boots, I think wear a pair of Crocs. The water goes into them, the water goes out of them, and you just give them a sluice afterwards and back on the edge of the pack to drip dry during the day. Should I be on a glacier, I have what must be the world's lightest ice axe. This one actually floats in water. It's actually a carbon fibre rod and titanium ends, good bite, nice little pick, and just right for walking. It's not a serious hacking up a sheer cliff of ice type axe. It's for walking and for self-arrest should you suddenly slip. I said I had a small pair of lightweight crampons, and these have got a lovely set of biting titanium points, and then they just strap. The straps go over the top of the boots and the points are at the bottom. Great for walking on glaciers, but they're not for front pointing and kicking steps up very steep slopes of ice, but for just being secure on a glacier, which is what most of the glacier walking in Iceland is, they would be fine. Things like that are essential if you're going to go on glaciers. If you're not, you just don't need them. But most places in Iceland you will be in a very remote area and you will have to cross rivers, so you do need to be confident in remote areas and confident at crossing rivers, even if you have no intention of going up glaciers. Some of the other things in the pack would be the things you need quite literally to stay alive. You do need a tent, even if you're thinking of staying in huts, because if anything happens that prevents you getting to a hut, then you are stuck in the middle of nowhere, and a tent is very, very good insurance at that point.
So Paddy, your guide covers both walks and treks.
Yeah.
So can you give us one walk and one trek that was your favourite? One of each.
Right. I like very remote places, and I find the Lanzarote trail to be excellent, although it is easily the most remote trail you could walk in Iceland, and if you get it in the wrong weather, it could be very, very dangerous, and it does involve a glacier crossing as well.
So that was about the trek. So how about a single day walk? Which would you recommend?
If I had to pick, say, a one-day walk that didn't involve glaciers, I would be hard pressed to nail one down, because there are just so many wonderful walks in Iceland that people are just spoilt for choice.